Hi students, this is Scotty. I was asked to do a short devotional on one of the Psalms, so I want to share with you my favorite Psalm and some of my thoughts around it. So I'm going to first read Psalm 13, and here's what it says. How long, Lord, will you forget me forever? How long will you hide your face from me? How long must I wrestle with my thoughts and day after day have sorrow in my heart? How long will my enemy triumph over me? Look on me and answer, Lord my God. Give light to my eyes, or I will sleep in death. And my enemy will say, I have overcome him, and my foes will rejoice when I fall. But I trust in your unfailing love. My heart rejoices in your salvation. I will sing the Lord's praise, for he has been good to me. So if you look at my Bible, this psalm has been covered in different colors. So this is often a psalm that I go to in hard times. And I think this psalm has 3 parts to it. And I think each of those parts really applies during kind of the pandemic that we find ourselves in. And so the first part, I'll remind you, it says, How long, Lord, will you forget me forever? How long must I wrestle with my thoughts? And so those 2 ideas always stick with me because I'm a worrier and I'm really good at this. And when I was told that I didn't get to go to work and classes were being canceled and graduation was being canceled, and for my seniors, all of the celebrations that we were going to do were canceled, that's a lot of sorrow in my heart. That's a lot of hard things, and I wrestle with my thoughts of I'm sad for my seniors. I'm sad for my graduation that was canceled. I struggle with how do I teach online? How do I engage students when I'm no longer with them? And all of those things are kind of overwhelming, and it's really overwhelming to go through a huge transition and a huge wiping out of a semester when in a matter of 1, 2, 3 days, like all of this hit hard. And so in the weeks after, I find myself in this place where I'm wrestling with my thoughts. What do I do with all of these? And I'm going to God and I'm questioning, and it's a little bit dramatic the way it's written, but it's also me. I'm struggling with, if I cough, does that mean I have corona? And I'm a little bit of a hypochondriac, so that does not help. But all of those things, they start to weigh you down. And so I find myself going, wow, this is super relatable. Like, I understand what the psalmist is writing because I struggle with my thoughts, and I wonder, God, where are you in this mess, in this chaos? And so then once I get past some of that sorrow, I find myself doing the second part. And I go, look on me and answer, God. Give light to my eyes, or I will sleep in death. And it's this demand, and it says, I need to know the answers right now. You best tell me what's going to happen. And I've done this in the last 2 weeks. In terms of some of the things for work, I've gone, I need to know answers. I've got to be able to give answers. So somebody better tell me. And I think nobody has answers. And so my demands have gone unmet. But I'm trying to find these answers. Every morning I will pull up the webpage, the Worldometer, and it tells you how many COVID cases there are and in what states and how many deaths and all of that. And I think if I just watch this, maybe I'll see the peak. Which, if you read any news article, I'm sure they'll tell us when the peak is. But I think if I just keep watching, maybe the peak is coming. And then I'll know. I'll know when this is over. And then you can give me answers because I need to know now. And I think I forget in those moments that God is in control because I'm demanding God for an answer that isn't there, or maybe isn't the right time. Or maybe it's a period where I need to rest and be still and learn to be flexible. But I'm sitting here saying, God, you're not doing a good enough job. You're not giving me the answers that I need fast enough. So I need to take control. And I think that by demanding answers or solving my own problems or looking at Worldometer will regain me that control. And I think it's foolish because I've said that, God, I'm better at controlling my life than you are. And I've taken him and put him out of power in my own head and said that I've got this. I'm better at this than you are. And I don't actually think that's true. And so then it causes more problems than it does solutions, because I've forgotten the God who loves me and the God who is in control and the God who is working through all of this, the God who is continually providing. And so when I get to that space, thankfully I have people around me who remind me. And in my worry and in my fears and in my demands, I am able to take a step back through the reminders of others and say, why are you worrying? Why are you questioning God? God is still in control. You don't need the answers today. And so I think it brings me to the third part of this passage that says, but I trust in your unfailing love. My heart rejoices in your salvation. I will sing the Lord's praise, for he has been good to me. And I can breathe. I'm reminded that there is a God who loves me, a God who provides for me, and a God whose love I get to trust in. It's an unfailing love. It is not going to do wrong. And things are hard, and things are still going to be hard for probably the next several months, but I get to trust in an unfailing love, a God who chooses me, even when I wrestle with my thoughts, even when I struggle with control. There's a God who loves me unconditionally, who is in control of these circumstances, who sees the loss, who sees the hard things, and still we are able to sing the Lord's praise because he's been good to us. He's provided alternatives. He's provided ways for me to stay connected. He's provided people who intervene when I'm at my worst. And so I love this passage because it's my thoughts. It's how I process. I get sad, I get mad, and then I pause. And I'm reminded that God is in control and I am not. And he hasn't let me go, and he has not failed me yet. And so I get to trust in his unfailing love. And that's the best reminder that I could ever have, because it brings me back to a reality. It grounds me. It gives me peace and calm, and I can keep going because I've got his unfailing love guiding me. And so my prayer for each of you is that as you're struggling with the hard things, as maybe you're feeling a sense of loss over the semester, as you are questioning all of the whys and when it's going to be over and how this all ends and the next steps, that at times you would take a deep breath and be reminded that you can trust in the unfailing love of a God who's got you, a God who won't let you down, a God who continues to provide for you. And I pray that verses 5 and 6 would be the most true right now, that you would move on past the sorrows, past the demands, and say, God, I trust in your unfailing love. My heart rejoices in your salvation. I will sing your praise, for you have been good to me.